Hello, everybody. I'm day weather meteorologist Don Day with your Public Lands Council weekly weather update for this December 21st, 2024. It's being brought to you by WSR Insurance Services Incorporated and Ag Risk Advisors. As we go now into the end of the month, peeking into the new year, what does the weather have in store for us across the western United States? Well, the very warm December will continue for a little longer. But we will, around or just after Christmas, up into the new year, start to see it get colder again. And there could be some trends that could be a lot colder by early 2025. But through the end of 2024, above average temperatures will be the rule. However, we will see a return of mountain snows. We saw that this week, and we'll see that over the next 7 to 14 days, which will help out the snowpack, which needs it. The pattern is going to be getting more active after Christmas into the new year, with the Pacific opening up with more storms and also Canadian air possibly intruding in to North America's northern and central areas of Canada, then eventually the lower 48 at times as we get into January. Over the last week, precipitation, again, very scant or non-existent for the desert states, the Four Corners area. This part of the country, very, very dry. The track of the storms, as you can see here, has been along the northern tier of the U.S., then dipping south into the Midwest to the Great Lakes in the Northeast, as a high-pressure ridge has been semi-permanent for the month of December in this part of the United States. So this is why it's been the Pacific Northwest, the Northern Plains, the Upper Midwest, the Corn Belt in the Midwest, and the Great Lakes in the Northeast has been so wet. And that's where the snow has been most abundant as well. More lake effect snows and pretty good snow across the northern tier over the last couple of weeks. Temperature-wise, well, the warm December continues, especially just east of the divide into the plains. That's been the dividing line for the cold in the month of December. And for the past week, it's been pretty warm. The exception has been those northern plains areas and the northeastern areas of the United States. And this general trend for the next week is going to continue here for a little bit longer. This is really affecting the snowpack. Notice we are into red now here in Arizona and in the Four Corners area, as a lot of the snow that came early in the season's melted out. Now we have above average snowpack in a large section here of the Pacific Northwest. This is where the good flow of moisture has been up and around. This has led to snowpacks in Wyoming, eastern Idaho, parts of Utah, and northern Colorado to really not be very good. This area has been missed by a lot of the storms, although what's coming here at the end of the month and into early January should help out this zone in terms of getting back into the mountain snows again. And over the next week, you can see that. Over the next 7 days between now and next Saturday, there's a good slug of moisture coming off the Pacific, getting into the mountains of Colorado, the Sierra Nevada, into the mountains of Idaho and Utah and northern Nevada. So we're going to be looking at better weather. Now, notice east of the divide, it's still a struggle here to get any moisture. However, just after next weekend, there may be an opportunity for maybe this area here to pick up some needed precipitation. It's on the table, something that we're going to keep an eye on. Temperature-wise, well, between now and the 29th of December, pretty warm. Temperatures above average except for the far eastern areas of the United States, as Pacific air is going to be pushing in across Canada and the lower 48, moderating the temperatures quite a bit. But after this period of warmth, we may see the cold start to make a comeback and maybe push a little bit more south and west than we've seen lately, and that's something that we'll talk about with next week's update. Snowfall over the next 7 days looks like this. Do notice it's getting further south into the central Rockies, the Sierras, more snow than we've seen lately for the Utah mountains and the Wyoming mountains, and that'll be good for these snowpack areas right here. So things are going to change slowly as we get to the end of the month and as we get into early January. Have yourself a good week ahead.